Yes.
All right. So start by getting your names into the microphone.
All right. I'm Bob Pohlad. What else do you want?
That's it.
Ed Saunders.
All right. And you usually start each episode with "We can't afford not to record," and that lets us know we're live. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening here in Ferrum on Thursdays?
Thursdays that started some time ago used to be farmers market, and it's exploded into a farm and craft market. It's a community gathering, probably more than just a market. And because this is the type of thing, I've lived here for 46 years. I taught at the college for 41 years, retired, and I'm an emeritus professor. But I've lived here, and I've never seen a lot of these people come out, but they're coming out to this type of thing. They came out to the flea market. They came out to rock the park. You know, this is a community building project, but it's not just the property, it's the people. And what you're seeing is a tremendous number of people that are driven. You're seeing driven, you know, with Ed and Rebecca. That's just a small piece of all the people that are out there. And it's if you build it, they will come. This is, if you put something together, people will come out. And if you repeat it, and that's what's happening on Thursdays, then people get used to it and say, oh, there's my destination. There's where I'm going to go. And to me, that's what's so exciting about this. We've had the college, we've had things at the college, and you get some people. But we've always kind of had this, oh, that's at the college, and this is in the community. It's now college and community people. I mean, this is everybody coming out. And I can see the students even starting to come over when they're here. So I think you see this kind of craft market, but and you see this great food. So is it a food desert? Yeah, they won't build a grocery store on this side of the county. Nobody's done that. So this is how you get fresh vegetables and fruit and crafts and baked goods. And then you also get people to make some money out of it. So they can come in. And that's why we don't charge. I mean, the idea is give them the opportunity. And that's what I see as so special. So more and more people hear about it. They say, oh, can we come? How much is it? No, just come out, sign up, tell us what you want to do. And I think that's special. So.
All right.
Yeah, and to the point about making money, we try to keep good metrics. We get on average between 150, and I think the biggest numbers we've gotten is probably about 225 people out here for just the craft market or the farm and craft market. And on average, our sales for our vendors is between 2,500 and about 3,200, I think, is the most we've made. So, and again, this is the difference for some folks between like being able to make their monthly bills and just being able to just have a little bit of breathing room. And for us, as community members, that's extremely important, and we can provide that for folks. And it's easy. I mean, this is a simple solution for helping some of the folks in our community out. Seems like a no-brainer.
I don't know if easy is the word I would use. Yeah. I've definitely seen a lot of work put in to make this happen. I would say value for the work put in is off the charts.
Yeah.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about the work you've seen done? If you don't want to brag on yourself, brag on some of the other folks that have helped put in some of the work.
Well, it's basically a matter of, this started from just a couple of people, and it's grown into the last time we had a meeting for the Friends of Ferrum Park, there were almost 20 people in the room. And this started from just a couple of ladies talking about, like, how do we do this? Like, how do we make this happen? And then on top of that, that's just kind of like the goal setting or the ones that are giving direction. And then you add on the extra volunteers. I mean, it's a huge thing. We've got at least 50 or 60 people that have volunteered to come out and spend time helping us set up, helping us do events. And that's huge. And not to mention, like, you look at all the musicians that came out and donated their time at the Rock for the Park. It's I just can't say enough, because with all the things that are going on in the world, it reminds you that humanity's good, that people are good, that people want to be a part of something important. And I think, to me, it every time I come out here, I'm like, oh man, this is going to take X amount of time. We got to get this set up. I'm always stressed. But by the end of the day, and when we're packing up, I'm like, yep, this is a great day. I'm so glad I saw so-and-so. I'm so glad I saw all these people. And I'm so glad that they were able to take a little bit of money home. Always going to try good food too, which is killer. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I think, let me speak to Ed and Rebecca and leadership. I think nothing really happens unless a few people show leadership and others will follow. And that's what's happening. I'm president of the Ferrum Lions Club, and people just love to help out, and so they're helping out here, and so we have the Lions involved, and so every time we turn around, somebody feeds an idea, but somebody has to lead. So you've got leadership here, and that core group is a leadership group, but what's happening is others see possibilities because somebody's leading, and so what they're doing is they're saying, okay, can you take charge of Rock the Park on this piece? Can you set up the flea market so gradually what's happening is the original leadership is feeding those things out within the community. And that's why more and more people are getting involved. Oh, I was able to do that, I was able to get engaged. And now they're doing things, and they're saying, oh, we could do this. Oh, we could do that. So the ideas are coming. The whole village plan and Ferrum Forward, and then, the Friends of Ferrum Park all grew out of a village plan that the county, put together. And we built this because we said we've got community people here that like some of those ideas. And it was walking areas, it was more places to buy goods like this, and those were at the top of the list. So Ferrum Forward was really the start of a community group, and then you had this group that was a splinter off from that said, look, what we could do if we had a space. And to me, that's what's exciting. I see space being extremely important. We have new signs in Ferrum. We've got, a lot of this started with everybody pushing for a walking bridge, across the railroad tracks. People were pushing for all these little things. But it really, nothing was pulling it together till we started having, this place that we're sitting in that represents a community space. And that's what, I just find it extremely hard to imagine that somebody wouldn't just get excited that this was the thing to do, and when you get pushback, then the pushback becomes kind of disappointing. And so then we're building each other up by saying, okay, but look, we heard from so-and-so that's doing this. Somebody else has donated money. Somebody has done that. And then all of a sudden, you're moving forward, and that's why we called ourselves Ferrum Forward. The idea of developing and doing more and more for the community.
Well, and to that point, if you look at like the Franklin County sign when you come in to down 40 here from Floyd, it's in rough shape. But again, you come into the signs in Ferrum, they're gorgeous. They're well taken care of. Ferrum cares, and really a lot of the Blue Ridge District really cares about where we are. We love our neighbors. We take good care about our area. Like, we check in on everybody. Like, we try to be a good community. And I think that's one of the things that you see so much. Like, anytime we get feedback from people that have moved into the area, they're like, I can't believe how amazing Ferrum is. Like, I've lived here or I've lived there. And when I moved to Ferrum, I was just like, oh, like these people, like this community, it's so nice. And these people are coming into this community and they're seeing all the things getting done, and they're like, I want to be a part of that. Hey, I want to bring whatever my expertise from wherever I'm from to it and offer something, because this community is embracing me. And it's just, and we're not from here. And I think Bob's originally from Florida. Right. He's a transplant that's been here long enough to earn his credit. But
I'm still the new guy after 46 years.
Well, I will say, from the outside looking in, we have family from Franklin County. We've been in and out of Franklin County for the last 40 some years. This is a thing of beauty to see, that people from Ferrum are actually getting out and talking to each other.
Yeah.
putting differences aside and finding commonality.
Unbelievable.
This is something that we're hoping would spread across the county, because we have not met a bad person that lives in Franklin County personally. They can have the potential for negative interactions, but for the most part, people in Franklin County are good.
Yeah.
If you need something, people step up.
That's
the other thing, and that's that core value to me that's important. People in Franklin County. When we moved out by Philpott on Thompson Ridge, everybody kind of stuck to themselves. But if we needed something, boom, everybody was there to help out. And that's a special thing to me. That's what makes community. And I just love it. You can't get away from here. I mean, you start walking around this farm and craft market, and all of a sudden you're seeing people you haven't seen in years. You're spending time. I mean, this is the social hall, of the community.
I just love seeing it. So,
yeah,
yes.
it's pretty impressive. I like it.
It is infectious, and you forget how infectious community is until you step back into a social situation like this.
Well, it used to be the churches were the social community. You go over to Europe, it was the bars and stuff, but here it was really the churches, and you'd have your lunches, or you'd have your dinners, or you have your get-togethers, and I think some of that is still happening, but now you're crossing and getting everybody coming in that can share ideas, and to watch somebody growing vegetables and then bringing them and being able to sell them. They're talking to them about, well, how'd you grow this? And what did you do? So now you're sharing other information. And as a college professor that taught agriculture and botany and all that for years, I love that, because then people are sharing how to, what do you do? I got this problem. What do you do about that? Where is that going to be better than with your neighbors, that are living in the area? So anyway.
Well, and to that point, kind of, again, engaging with your neighbors and stuff. We had some folks out here walking a dog that's kind of up for adoption. And so I walked over and talked to him about, hey, do you think the folks at the Humane Society would be interested in coming out and doing like a doggy adoption thing where we can go for a walk with the dogs, have folks out that are interested in adopting, and like make something happen, maybe get some dogs adopted. And again, it's just having a place to be able to go, okay, hey, we might be able to solve a problem. How can we do it? And then engaging folks, and it's just like the flea market. We had one of our members say, we should try a flea market. I have a lot of folks that would probably come out and sell their stuff, and it was huge. It was probably the best turnout we've had for one of our events so far. And again, just and I'd like to engage the community, because oftentimes this side of the county doesn't have a lot of opportunities to try stuff, and there's so many brilliant people here that get overlooked in that situation. And it's like, well, if we have space for it, let's try it. It may be a huge success. It may be something people are like, let's do this again next year. And it's just like the trick or treat trail. Somebody just said, hey, let's, before the haunted trail, let's see if we can hand out candy. And we had an entire line of kids walking up this, and it was
hundreds.
My kids came.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
And the weather was beautiful. And there were so many folks that were like, this is such a neat idea. And if it hadn't been for somebody mentioning, hey, we should try it, that wouldn't have happened. And that wouldn't have been, I know there are a lot of photos out on Facebook and everything, because it was like literally picturesque as could be. And it was just a wonderful evening. But, we're the kind of folks that like to throw stuff at the wall and see what works.
Now, with that thought, how... If someone's listening in and they go, well, I live in Ferrum and I haven't participated yet, how do they come out? How do they get engaged? How do they connect to this community?
You're talking about engage and set up a booth, or engage just to come out and be a part of it?
It sounds like if you come out and be a part of it, if you've got a skill, you're going to have a booth. If you've got an idea, you're going to have a seat at the table. Yeah. So how do we just get them here?
Well,
and then they can sort themselves.
And we have regular meetings. I mean, we have a Ferrum Forward meeting every month, and so that meeting is where people bring ideas, and we're looking at beyond this, everything within the community. So that's the other, but you can also join the park group.
Well, and then Ferrum Forward's Facebook page is extremely active.
Oh.
There are a lot of folks. We're, I think, a little under 3,000 people. I believe. Again, my wife keeps track of that stuff, so I'm not 100%, but we have a huge following. There's a lot of interest in that and a lot of engagement. So if somebody posts something in that, everything from, hey, I need my dog walked, or I need help moving furniture, or whatever.
Exactly.
It's a very, very engaged community.
And there's a calendar of all the events, so people can go there. It can be a destination for finding out what's going on.
Yeah.
The businesses are listed around the area. A lot of the early times we started this, we went and created a directory of the businesses, because that's something people didn't know. Where could you get your car worked on? And a lot of students come in, and so then this was a spot where they could go. And that's the other big thing. We have David Campbell, some of you know him as Chopper.
Yeah.
He came and started doing the newspaper on campus, so he sent his team to interview, and they just got an award for that. I mean, they got an award for community involvement because they were bringing all of us in. But these students got so excited about interviewing and wrote these great articles, and now that's kind of the community newspaper, the Iron Blade, rather than just the college paper. So it's pretty neat. I have to admit, all the years I've been here, I'm more excited about the engagement now than I ever have been. I've said that before, but I want to keep repeating that I see the older folks. I'm an older folk, but if you see, the older folks, they're just so excited. The Atkins were sitting over here, Charlie and his wife and she makes fried apple pies. I mean, probably one of the most popular things in this whole area. She comes out, if she can't make it every week, she's here most weeks, and she's selling fried apple pies. I've had people drive up when we were up at the other site for the market and buy 40 or 50 of them, to take and divvy them up to everybody. I mean, that's a community, historical thing, the fried apple pies. And now she does fried peach pies, and she had a different one, cherry or something today, or blueberry. I mean,
over there.
And so now everybody comes to see them, and there's a destination. Go to the Atkins booth, and Kayla Bowman. I mean, the baking she does, unbelievable. And so I grab stuff to take to church every Sunday. It's like, I don't want to cook. I'll cook something from Kayla,
Do you put it in your own basket? You guys should taste this.
I did this. I'm thrilled to share who made it, because she's and then you can go around this lot and you can hear those kind of stories from everybody. It's good old-fashioned stuff, and it's new stuff, and it's candy that young people are making, and it's great. Crafts are it's just so good. Anyway,
but another to add on to that, one of the other things, again, if anybody wants to stop out, we always have a tent here. We all love talking to people, so if you find anybody associated with Ferrum Forward or Friends of the Park, talk to us. We're always happy to hear ideas. We're always happy to see enthusiasm about a project or something like that. So again, any Thursday, if somebody wants to come out, we're between 3 and 7. If anybody wants to come out and talk to us, we're always here. We're happy to listen to anything, and we love folks' feedback. Again, the whole reason we started doing the park project was because of feedback that we felt like wasn't being listened to. So again, we just want to make sure that we're the ones listening, that we're actively engaging with folks and making decisions based on their feedback. So yeah, anytime somebody wants to stop out, one of us is here, and one of us is happy to listen.
Okay. I like it. I'm getting a lot from this. Franklin County, you're listening. Get out, talk to your neighbors, throw out some ideas, see what it sticks. Stop by the farmers market in Ferrum and see it in action.
I heard a man talking, didn't know what he was saying, but it kept on spilling. His words just the same. His mind seemed scrambled like a burned out candle, with half the wick missing and a nothing for flame. Give me a savior that takes me away. Give me a blanket and a space for my head. When time descends like an old stage curtain on the back of my eyelids, I'll be in a place instead. You just kept a rambling, talking 19 to the dozen, like a worn out needle tripping right across that groove. He said there's a silence that's creeping in darkness, but why look for answers when there's nothing to prove? Give me a savior that takes me away. Give me a blanket and a space for my head. When time descends like an old stage curtain on the back of my eyelids, I'll be in a place instead. If time were elastic, would we dare ask it to hold on to something before it melts down like ice? And if we could listen, we'd hear back the laughter, 'cause no one ever wades through the same river twice. Give me a savior that takes me away. Give me a blanket and a space for my head. When time descends like an old stage curtain on the back of my eyelids, I'll be in a place instead. When time descends like an old stage curtain on the back of my eyelids, I'll be in a place instead.